prepped for us as we go ahead and kick things off on Night Market.
Well, we had in that very brief moment, the UI was not hidden. We saw Sombra Farah, but I don't think that it will come to pass. Would love to see it. Would be tricky, be really reminiscent of Season 1 of Contenders Korea. We saw Element Mystic fail on this map in a Game 5 against O2 Ardian at the time. It was a few seasons ago, though, when we live in a meta of tanks are the DPS. They are the ones that do the damage because they are immortalized by their healers. And we will see the swaps come through.
Yeah. So this will be Gargoyle moving over to that Zarya, so will be the standard 3-3.
Yep, remember, DPI is a DPS player who plays D.Va. Very rare case. I know I mention that every time they play, but it does lead to him getting really nice damage output.
Yeah, he has been phenomenal here for WGS as of late. Stun up coming through there on Ion. He'll drop low. Dropping him back up very slowly. Now have to focus up onto Ritz. They push up into the front line. Daydream actually finds the first kill as Karayan will be taken down.
A lot of these fights in the neutral will be decided by the tanks being picked off first. Ritz being demeched here will be insignificant in the grand scheme of things. He has time to jump off, but I think given the positional advantage they have here, he's probably just going to look to get the pilot remech.
He's going to try to, but if he does get taken down, could be very costly for them. Spamming away. Can't really get through the shields. Gets a couple tags in. Push himself up well above 50%. Here we go. Now he's getting the damage through. Will be able to remake in a second, but now they lose out onto the Reinhardt. They did not have that protection, but they're able to read it back as Edison finds one, but Gargoyle gets Edison, taking him down. Now man advantage over to WGS, and they push in. Daydream going to get dropped. Now no supports here onto the point, and that will just go ahead and be a very fast flip for WGS, who are now in control.
25% is all that GC Busan Wave can bring in here. WGS Armament has control here with support ultimates online. Mandu will have his shortly, but that means that the attack here for Edison isn't going to be easy to execute because it should be countered. This grab they want to approach with should be countered.
Yeah, we'll go ahead, slams it down right in front of the enemy squad. It's going to be that transcendence out into the back bomb as well, being thrown, not going to find a pickoff. Karayan does come up with one there on Alpine. Daydream taken down just before. Hound down Edison, no chance to use that Graviton Surge, and Myungbong is able to just hold on to his own Transcendence this entire time, so we'll have that to counter, as well as a sound barrier from Mandu shortly.
Yeah. And this all goes back to Ritz being demeched, right? Had he played a little bit safer, maybe stay a little bit further back there and not gotten demeched at the end of the fight, this is a whole different story. Now they do have this grab this time.
Stun coming in off the back of the Earth Shatter. Karayan, however, going to be kept alive. Ian doesn't get anything. DPI says thank you very much for that one. Rally now out just to really seal the deal and make sure everybody is armored up. They barely lost any armor, so honestly, could have held on to that, but you know, a little bit of a panic ult for Pelican. Either way, WGS win the fight. GC Busan Wave completely contained in the dropship.
They don't have any tools. Ion's got no shatter. If they're able to take this, it's going to have to be on the back of a pin kill from Ion. That's really their best option of retaking this point right now. The Trance can win them the longer fight after that. Watch where he goes. Let's see if he can get that pin. That's his only option.
Yeah, bomb going to be coming out. No way to break the shield from Karayan. Myungbong, however, will get picked off right before the sound barrier comes through. That could be the turning point here for GC Busan Wave. They match with their own sound barrier. Still just going to be spamming away. Karayan going lower and lower. It's an armor pack for a moment. He's barely staying alive, but will finally be taken down as Alpha comes up with a double and DPI goes sailing off the side of the map. Flip getting ready to happen. They push back in for a moment, trying to approach that OT.
This is huge.
Will not be able to hit it though. 92% for WGS as the flip comes in.
Myungbong used his Trance in the last fight. He was standing at the front because he was greedy, trying to rebuild it. He now stands at 43 after the respawn. But Ion's known for his positioning, is known for his flanking. He comes in, he sees Myungbong's at the front, gets that left click kill. That's this point opened up for GC Busan.
Now they're pushing through a choke. Edison nearly with the Graviton Surge online. Gargoyle going to be holding on to his. But GC Busan Wave, they're the ones that have the counter tool. They have that Transcendence ready to go.
Exactly. That's the big turning point here. They can win this fight here against that grab.
Or if DPI can eat it again, we'll have to find out. The Shadow's going to be coming down. Bubble not enough to save Ion's life. Now Alpha E dead. Grab out from WGS. Vomiting plays right up into the front to go ahead and seal the deal on some of these kills. Everybody's dead. The only one surviving is Fielder with that Transcendence up. He has to exit, as does Ritz. Flip comes back through. GC Busan Wave, they only made it to 67%. Now WGS about to hit 100.
Yep. Should be the first cap as Ritz just tries to tag on. He will buy overtime and remech. Well, he tries to remake, but
dumps the bomb, but can't make it back through. Very costly here, but had to be done. Now it's just going to be tiptoeing in onto the point here for the members of GC Busan Wave, trying desperately to elongate the fight, but Mandu spamming away with the left legs, manages to come up with a kill onto Ion. Now going to be focusing down, gets the punch. Daydream going to be dead. Mandu is just taking him out here, and it will tick down 167%. WGS, they take Night Market.
They start things off with a win here. Great start for this rookie squad. The play from Mandu setting up a lot of these self-destructs, or at least attempting to, makes it very difficult for GC Busan Wave to play around DPI's repeated attempts. He gets them so quickly because his accuracy and just damage output is very nicely done, just based off his tracking, right? And we don't talk about tracking for D.Va too often, but it is actually, when you compare it to D.Va's, what sets them apart oftentimes. That and his Graviton eat on Edison's approach there, those two big things. More self-destructs, the grab eat, leads to just bigger opportunities for WGS Armament. Now they have the lead, and now we're going to see, can they keep it? Going to be once again mirrored compositions. This one is all about the neutral here in Control Tower, or Control Center. If you win this first fight, you're almost guaranteed to win the map.
Obviously pushing up no maze as of yet. Elkin up into the front, goes in for the stun, gets stunned himself. Or back out, however. Still just going to be swinging away. Going to build up Orion again, going to be melted down this time. Ion coming up with the kill. Pelican able to answer one back as LB will get dropped. But that's still going to be a good position here for GC Busan Wave at the moment to go ahead and lock down the point first.
Okay, Edison gets 50% of a grab too. Armament needs to make sure he doesn't get any more, or they're going to get that grab in the choke. They actually reapproach here. They want to fight this now. Gargoyle's got the high ground controlled. Yeah, this is a good fight.
They're almost just taking the flip for free. They will. 9% all they get now. Daydream up into the front line. Not sure what he was doing there. Just gets taken down.
GC Busan Wave
from the side.
They did not know they were going to reapproach. Such a slick move here by WGS.
Comes in. That's Fielder gone. Orion gets the double kill. Yeah, GC Busan Wave, they did not see it coming. They thought they were completely out of the fight, and they were not prepared for the re-aggression. Now WGS in control of the point. They have the choke.
GC Busan Wave was thinking, okay, let's get reorganized here. Let's heal up, get our support ults ready. Then we're going to attack them at their choke from the respawn. WGS never went back to respawn. They had the fast runbacks there, and they went for the fight. Now they got this choke.
Pins there. Edison's out of the fight. Still not able to build up for that Graviton surge. Shatter online. Orion likely just going to be holding it. They know that they have the pick. They know that GC Busan Wave has to respect them here.
And the reason I said earlier the first fight wins you the map usually here, or rather the round, is because of this choke. But GC Busan Wave didn't control the choke. They didn't get those ults. Now that's controlled by WGS.
Shatters down. Oh my god, Orion knocks them all on their asses, and they are just eliminated. Ritz will be left as they body block him in. The goals off the side of the map. Pelican will go ahead and finishes them off. Team wipe, all in one fell swoop.
WGS, do not underestimate this squad when they have advantages like this. They are going to use them safely. 96 energy currently for Gargoyle, who backs away. They decide 65. Let's actually not take a risk here with the support ultimates in the choke. Let's actually look for a flanking grab. That's what he was looking for here. ZZ spotted, just bounces it back, looking for right-click damage.
Shadow's going to be down. Gargoyle locked up, still has the armor, now has the Transcendence on top from Youngbolt, trying to keep him alive. Grab is out from Medicine, locks him in, bomb into the back, sound barrier through from WGS as they try to survive the explosions. Bombs out from DPI, however, is going to be the one that coming up with the kill as Edison will be picked off. WGS still in control of the point. GC Busan Wave retreating, limping back, down a member. Now they're going to be contained in the choke again.
They've got no tools. They've got 10% left. Virtually 10 seconds to approach this point. It's going to take a miracle if they're getting this one back. Looks like WGS has taken the map. They can't even touch it.
They finally do manage to tag him, but look at that. The kills instantly coming through. No supports available. The D.Va eliminated. Now Ion dead. That's it. 100 to 9%. An absolute slaughter at the hands of WGS Armament. They put GC Busan in the grave.
Remember, guys, we have to talk about this map. This round is won by the choke being controlled by the team who has the more efficient ultimates there. And it looked like WGS was going to lose it. They lost the fight. They lost control of the first point. They were down on ults. But GC Busan underestimated their next approach. They come in, they take a fight from an unexpected angle, mostly off the back of Gargoyle flanking, burn down Ritz's mech, and it's like all over from there. Then he's got the grab, they've got the shatter, and he doesn't miss it. Karayan hits a fat one in the choke, hits everybody, and that's the map won. That moment, that decisive play by WGS to not hesitate but to reapproach the point is how they lead this series. And this will be, outside of that EM series, remember, the second time GC Busan Wave drops a map this season. And it's in very dominant fashion by WGS. They've come in very well prepared. And I gotta say, the synergy between DPI and Mondu for bombs, following up those grabs that we're seeing build very quickly for Gargoyle, starts to seem very terrifying. I foresee a future in this series where we do see a lot of Diva bombs connecting. We see a lot of kills from DPI, and the focus has been on Ion. They've realized they've been able to identify Ion flanks a lot. He looks for these side charge angles, some of these left-click kills where he's looking for isolated targets. Remember Myungbong dying in that one fight in the first round. Things like that. You can isolate Ion, you can kill him, you can focus him down. That's kind of been the strategy for WGS in a lot of these neutral fights. When we move into Hybrid, which will be our next map, it's a little bit less black and white. We're not playing on control. We're not looking for as big of flanks. It's more of a focal point on A. Then Assault will be similar. But yeah, for control, at least the strategy, the game plan was really good for WGS Armament. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, fantastically done. I mean, that was a no contest just about. Overall, how much did they gain? Let's see. GC Busan Wave managed to pick up 76% total across two rounds of control there.
Well, can't underestimate him. There's strength. GC Busan Wave's strength has always been on maps like Escort, maps like Assault. Maps like Hybrid and Escort. More street phase oriented maps where you kind of run around based on playing around a cart, fighting ultimates that way, where your opponent has to come to you on attack. Been very good at that. If you go back to their Kings Row days last season, where we had all maps available in regular season, we saw that a lot. I would not be shocked at all if they take us back to that favorite map, back to Kings Row here. It's their map choice since they lost game one. Since all maps are available, play well around point A. They've always done good at that. Edison could continue to play as Zarya. He's obviously a dominant Zarya player, Kings Row. We will have a Delight subbed back in for Alpha E. It's not a big shock, but also, I don't feel like Alpha E had any hiccups there in that last map. It's just perhaps they feel the synergy with Delight is better since he's been playing with them for the majority of the season on the Brigida. For those who are just tuning in for playoffs, because I know there's quite a few of you, Delight, formerly known as God Sejong, still on the roster before, just changed his nickname to Delight this season, which is a little bit easier for Western fans to say.
Yeah, makes it a lot easier in the middle of a team fight, to be honest with me. So
he's been the more defensive focused player, oftentimes keeping Ion alive, allowing him to go deeper into the fight, but also one of those players that will pocket Edison when Edison's trying to go in and get that high energy look for the grab. Whereas Alpha E is more of the engage style Brigida. He's the one who's going to get those solo kills on the Lucio, who's sneaking around the backside. So very, very different in play style. And I do think for especially Lijiang Tower, where you're looking for the neutral win, that first cap is so important. Like Alpha E's playstyle suits that. So you get that one kill, then you kind of win the map oftentimes, as we saw there on that second round on Control Center. Yeah. So moving to a more all-rounded map in terms of Hybrid, I do like the sub of Delight back in.
We'll see where they're going to be taking us. We did see a couple different things yesterday, but it will be Kings Row. Okay, so get to go back there. We saw
an
that
old favorite.
Yeah, Runaway versus Kongju. We did get to see that pick come back in. We saw Blizzard World as well. So 2 new picks for the season was very nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Just be jumping straight into it. There we go. The WGS Armament fans finding their voice. If you guys tuning in, you need a team to cheer for. WGS. They could use your support. Show them some in chat. Show both teams, obviously. No bias here. Whoever you want.
Right. Well, look, I just want to talk about the history of this team's map pick really quick. GC Busan Wave picked this map, more often than not in Season 2. It's a map where we saw them run Ana Genji with Reinhardt Zarya back like the old Apex Season 2 days. We'd see that a lot on Kings Row. So they got very famous for doing that. Alpha E's Genji, one of the more terrifying ones, and that's one of the reasons why everyone had their eyes on him in Season 2. But now we know Edison is the Genji player for Season 3. We won't be seeing anything like that for the defense. If we do see it, it will be on attack. They will just run the 3-3 standard with Brigida, Lucio, Zen. On the attack here, we'll see DPI toss out a shot. and then we'll see the swaps.
An absolutely massive pick if he can find it, but he won't. So we'll go ahead and just drop back down, swap over onto the D.Va. So 3-3 out the gates here. They'll be charging up into the initial choke. Wrapping around the right-hand side of the statue. To poke out where possible. Brian leading the charge. Mondu up on the high ground, going to be spamming away. It's a boot back here onto Ion. Been building up that ult charge quite nicely, but Korian starts surging forward to try and match him.
Knows the focus fire here, often on Ion. He's trying to separate his team from Ion so they can get that focused kill, and there it is.
Yep, Ion is going to be taken down. DPI able to come up with it. Again, opening things for his squad, and that might just be the point A take already for WGS. GC Busan Wave lose out on one member, and they have to surrender the point here on their map pick.
WGS Armament just kind of parts the green sea here of GC Busan Wave, man. Mondu comes in, shoves everyone else away repeatedly with right clicks from Ion. Remember, Ion's aggressively positioned forward, looking for a flanking charge, potentially. That's his play style. Mondu's identified that. He's helping shoving him away. Gets those ranged hits on him as he retreats. And what a time bank this is. WGS coming out with flying colors here at the start.
Pushing their way up through the choke, looking to take a fight. Shatter going to be online. Ion dead off the bat. Fielder too late with that Transcendence to save him now. The Graviton surge in from Gargoyle, and it's just going to be cleanup time here for WGS. Not breaking a sweat so far on this push. Wipe comes through. See Ritz just retreating back.
Ion dying first means there's no way to block a Shatter, but they know they don't need it. Youngbone panics there with the Transcendence, or sorry, excuse me, Fielder panics with the Transcendence too late. And, you know, it just ends up being Korian gets to hold this. Gargoyle's looking for extra ult charge here. Not even really high energy because that fight was so dominant. There was very little damage output for GC Busan Wave. They're just going to look for a Shatter here around the corner. Good spot by Ritz.
Cart is just charging forward. Just over a minute has dropped so far, pushing up to get that energy over to Gargoyle so he can rapidly build for another Graviton surge. Drops the hammer, catches multiple members. But the sound barrier is in from GC Busan Wave as they look to maintain a spot in the fight. Transcendence now in from Myongbong. Mondu going to be holding on to his ultimate here for the moment. Edison seeking an opportunity to dump in the grab.
There's no chance to counter it.
He's already had one eaten, needs to be very respectful of DPI's position, but they do manage to find Pelican at the start, so very good. Now just pins it straight in onto the cart. They burn down Gargoyle. Was not able to get behind the shield of Korian. That will be GC Busan Wave able to stabilize just 3.69 meters away from point B.
And that's where you want to hold this. You want to have that control of the actual contest of B. Cart starts to roll back. You have this opportunity now to, control the chokes and all the different angles, the corners here, where you can use your shatters. You can build up tons of ult charge. The long run backs coming through from WGS. They need to be careful about going too far out though. They have that trance. Fielder can deal with this upcoming grab. So they want to take a fight away from the cart. That's the plan here.
Shield's already taking a beating here on either side. Still looking to play forward. Oh, he was trying to go in for the bomb rinse. Trying to throw that one up into the air. Was unable to do something because Grab blocked him in. But they do manage to stay alive via that sound barrier out from Daydream. Bomb in the back. Just managed to find Korian. Gargoyle. And below half HP will be surged back up as Myongbong pops that Transcendence. But now they're out of ults and have to kite back over towards the spawn. Yeah, back half is happening in the meantime, though.
Yes, that is
to advance
super
the cart.
Oh my god, the Observer's going to watch that. All right, he comes back.
Just trying to get it as close as humanly possible.
Yep. Well, that is, just gonna. Well, the thing is, it gives them a positional advantage.
Exactly.
Now they can approach around this corner.
Allows them to advance up through that choke. Shatter going to be coming down.
Perfectly done.
The Light going to be eliminated. They do manage to get a Shatter in. Swing will take down Pelican. So an exchange in the Brigitte thus far. Shield still rather healthy here for Ion. Korian's getting beaten and battered. Wrist pop at the back in the meantime.
They have
100 energy for Edison. Graviton surge going to be coming down. He pushes forward, looking to just go ahead and beam them all out of the fight. Ion and Edison will just go ahead and screw up the majority of these kills. And yet again, they will hold off WGS just shy of B.
Perfectly done by WGS though to have Mondu to the back cap, then bring in Korian, swing around the other side when GC Busan Wave backs off, get the stun there. It was actually Ion's positioning who saves them. He gets the shatter there, the counter shatter. That allows everyone to kind of regroup. And Delight still holds this rally. Fielder still has that armor from the previous one. He's waiting to use this in the next fight to get them an edge in combination with that Transcendence.
There you go. Rally going to be coming out as going for the pin. Ion not going to be able to find anything, but will get that shatter online. He's just trying to stay alive. cutting his way back desperately. Drops the hammer. There's just a couple here. Bomb up. Ion gets 2 with the fire strike. The bomb from DPI not going to find anything. He'll make it back into the mech, but now he's got to retreat.
And there's no reason to believe that WGS now will be able to regain the cart in the next 90 seconds. They've lost all their ultimates. They panicked there with Myeonbong tossing out the trance there late. And Ion has this choke controlled again. Edison's got a grab. This is the A choke, by the way. We're talking about, you know, the cart's going to B, but they're controlling A still. That's where the best place you could use a grab when you have this massive control. You know your opponent doesn't have trance. That's why GC Busan Wave is trying to play so much around this.
It's already rolled so far back now. Ryan up into the front, going to be looking for an opportunity to drop in the hammer. Not going to find it. Pelican is going to get picked off. Sound barrier out from Mandu all the same. As they try to find the fight, but GC Busan Wave are just kiting their way back safely.
Yeah, they know that the one thing is that they're missing is the trance. Fielder almost has it, but he doesn't. So they're like, look, why take a fight here, even 6v5, when we can just back off? The cart is rolling back.
Yep. 45 seconds remaining. Shatter going to be coming down for Ryan. Don't think he found much. Graviton Surge locks him up, but they cannot get any kills. Fielder counteracting that one. Now the sound barrier coming through. They answer with a grab of their own. Still looking for the kills. Shatter comes down. Orion hitting the floor. Trying to keep everybody topped up. Ion will be taken down. There's Fire Strike from Orion, finds it, but they have to make their way over to the cart. They have to get that moving. They have to get to B to bump that time bank back up. It's going to be knocked out of the mech, armored up, trying to stay alive as a pilot form Diva, but just does not stand a chance. Orion gets a double kill here on the back, and this should lead to the cap here on B, unless they can somehow recontest.
There is an opportunity to recontest here, but it's going to have to be Ritz rushing over. It's going to be close. I think they should just give it, because if they lose this fight, suddenly we're talking about a C push here around the corner.
Couple seconds remaining. OT now going to be taken away. They do all make it back.
They commit.
Shatter comes down. 3 members locked down in the back line, but they need the kills to be coming through, and so far will not be finding any. Ion, a sliver of HP remaining. Trying to back up, and ends up finding his first kill. His Pelican gets taken down. Grab in on the card. Bomb going to be dumped in from DPI, looking for a pickoff that will not get anything. GC Busan Wave grinding away. Might be able to hold this off. Gargoyle is dead. Karayan going down. Bumped back from Ritz. Not going to find a pick. From Myeonbong gets zoned back. Now DPI knocked out Pelican. Desperately swapping over onto the Doomfist to try to make it back in time. Mandu throws down the sound barrier. They all get locked up. And the hold from GC Busan Wave just in front of B is absolutely fantastic.
And most teams, you take a snapshot of that moment before Ritz rocket thrusts in and they stop the point, they contest the payload. You take a snapshot of that moment, and I'd say 9 out of 10 Korean teams say it's not worth the risk. I'm not going to contest this. If we get wiped, they're going to have ult advantage. They're going to roll towards C. And this is the team that can make that call. This is the team that has that pre-existing synergy. They've played 2 seasons together now. And Ritz says, I'm going in. We're going to contest this. It's going to happen. We're going to win this fight. You lose that fight, and suddenly what was basically going to be a hold on right after B becomes a C push. But they make that decisive choice. They have the ults required to take that fight, and they coordinate the hold. GC Busan Wave comes in, and you think at that moment probably WGS Armament is a little bit flabbergasted, like, are they actually going to try to touch this? But it works out. A risky call, but it pays off in huge dividends here for GC Busan Wave. We will now see the defensive setup here for WGS. Looks like it's just going to be 3-3 here for GC Busan Wave. Their strength on this map always was controlling the chokes. As exciting as it was to see Alpha E on the Genji back in the day, that's no longer the meta. So let's see if they can attack through this choke just as well as they defended it throughout that very long Streets phase.
It's great stabilization from the side of GC Busan. I mean, you think back, that time bank was so huge, near 6 minutes for the Streets phase, and they drain it down. Fantastically done, but let's see how they fare on the attack. WGS could have a better defense and still come out on top, still move up 2-0. Let's see if that's going to be the case. Going into the pit, nice move over to the side. Ion not going to be able to find anything. Good play from Mandu. Karayan comes up with the first kill as the light will get dropped. Fire strike through. Helps keep Ion relevant as far as the ult charge is concerned, but Karayan is just now hounding down everybody. Pushes his way up to 90%. All of the kills. Even the neck break, it's just been Karayan.
Well, I feel like Mandu, I don't know what Ion did to make Mandu pissed, but he's got his number. He's tracking him all the time, eliminating his teammates. Remember, as we saw in the attack, forcing him alone to be isolated so he get picked off this time, denying his charge, which is a really nice angled charge.
Shadow now going to be online.
That's all that damage.
Ryan going to be going low, slams it down, not going to find anything. Big whip on the ultimate, but Ion still going to be sitting just shy of 60% here. So a chance perhaps for Brian to catch back up, especially now the fielder has been popped. Gargoyle coming up with a kill, 100 energy on this Zarya. They have to run all the way back over to the spawn. Even the right click's just going to be chunking him out. Ritz loses his mech, so has to swap and surrender his ult charge.
One of the reasons why Zarya is so strong is because her energy ticks down very slowly. And on this map, you fight repeatedly. Gargoyle did most of the damage in that fight because he was still high energy from the previous fight and was able to get that right click kill, amongst others.
Pushing the way back up. Falcon on the ground, stands back into the fight. Ryan isolated, however, will be burned down now. Opening Transcendence here from fielders. They work their way over to the point. Graviton Surge going to be online for Edison. Bubbles out, 100 energy. Cooking away.
He would love to hold this.
Lower.
I think he should be able to.
We'll have to see WGS looking like maybe they want to play forward. They want to go back in for the contest.
Ryan's
Ryan
back.
now going to be arriving.
They're going
up a little bit. Yeah, Transcendence going to be out. Not going to find anything on the back of the shatter here for Ion. I think he maybe locked up Pelican in the back, but that's about it. Graviton Surge does come through, however, locks up the tanks. Myungbong Crying, both going to be going down. CPI now knocked out of the mech. WGS desperately trying to scrape something by here. They will delay a little bit longer, drain that clock down very slightly, but will be losing out on the point.
If we go back to that last decision,
split spawn.
That last decision that was made by GC Busan Wave to contest, you know, this is the other side of the coin. When you go and you fail, look at GC Busan Wave now, look at the ults they're building, look at the free push they get. This macro decision was made off the back of Myeongdong coming in with the trance to lead onto the point so they could tag with that healing. But that meant that Edison was able to grab after it expires. His grab gets massive value. They get crushed. Look at the ult charge. Both support ultimates still up for GC Busan Wave. Ion with another shatter. And the cart keeps rolling. They've even got these corners controlled with the late respawns coming through the split spawns you mentioned for WGS. And this is the consequence of that failed contest.
Edison trying to build up that energy, playing up in the front. Bomb's going to be after the DPI. The shatter, however, from Ion is absolutely huge. It leads to 3 kills very swiftly. Now 4 as Pelican goes down. Not find anything with the pin, but DPI is desperately trying to make it out of here with that mech intact. Myungbong says, take me please, let me respawn quickly, because we only have so much time to try to contest
You can really feel the experience of GC Busan Wave on this map, the control of the chokes, the corners. I mean, WGS, this time it's not a choice, it's not a call, they've got to contest.
Yeah, they're pushing their way up, sound barrier to open. Myungbong going to be joining back in with the Transcendence online very shortly. DPI around in the back, down below half HP. Karayan dropping the hammer, not going to find anything, gets killed immediately after using the ult. Daydream finds one, but Pelican's able to answer one back and try to even up the score a little bit. Now Ion going to be dead. Man advantage over to WGS as they try to win out the fight. Edison in the back, going to be cutting his way out. Right clicks coming through to build up. We'll have the grab online for the reapproach. 2.5 minutes remaining still. 4.9 meters left to go here for GC Busan Wave.
Opportunity here really for WGS to win this map now. What looked hopeless moments ago, Ritz gets staggered. It's going to burn through about 20 more seconds of time. GC Busan Wave looking for a regroup before they come in. They're going to have a lot of tools here versus no support ultimates. They know that. This next push, they're probably going to commit everything. That way they can, even if this by some reason fails, build up those ultimates one more time. This is their big chance to crush when WGS does not have support ults with the grab and the shatter.
Pushing their way up, grab online. DPI going to be looking to deny that one. By any means possible, but now Gargoyle just going to be taken down. Ion finds some more on the back of the shatter. 3, now 4 going to be gone on the side of WGS. Let's make it 5. Let's go ahead and probably make it 6 wherever Myungbong is. He's taking some damage. He'll be eliminated. The point will be completed, and GC Busan Wave will not go down without a fight. They answer back on King's Row and tie up our series.
Great start to this series already, and you know, in those last moments too, you can always feel, like I think watching the ride there from our observer team was correct, because you can always feel like the big threat is the grab. Where's the grab going to be? We have no support ults, we have to eat this. But while you focus on that, the rest of your teammates fall because their Ryan's shield positioning is split between I have to protect my supports or trying to get damage done, and also I have to deal with Ion who's flanking. It's hard to know, does Ion have the shatter yet? They know he's got to be close to it. But he comes up with a shatter, the grab is there, there's no support ultimates, and it's just an easy cleanup when you have that many ults, you know, missing on your opponent's side. You have the AoE ults, there's no answer. The biggest way they win that is somehow both DPI eats the grab and they block the shatter, but it's just not realistic in this case when you're rushing back trying to get onto that cart, prevent the capture there. This map was won by GC Busan's decision to contest B, but also in some ways lost by WGS Armament's decision to contest A there, giving that free push to the streets phase and the time bank that allowed GC Busan Wave to continue to build those ultimates. It's kind of a really cool teaching moment here for those watching at home, because you could see why in some very specific cases you could take the risk, and still most people wouldn't do it what GC Busan Wave did. And you could see the benefit of that, but then we got to immediately see right after the consequences of a failed contest and what that means.
Yeah, seems like GC Busan Wave finding their groove, whether it's the map pick, whether it's the light coming back in. Hard to say. But either way, this will not be a 3-0. This will not be one-sided off the bat. No need for a reverse sweep here. GC Busan Wave is able to tie things up, make this a 1-1, and now WGS will have their map pick here for the first time in the series.
Yeah, and it's a tough call to say where they're going to take us, because they like quite a variety of assault maps. They picked several this season between the maps. They had options to take. Saw a Wrecking Ball from them on Horizon. It was a little bit weird, but we've also seen them just play standard on Hanamura. It's up to them.
Yeah, now the map pool's completely open, so who really knows? The only way to find out is to wait when we come back from the break. So we're going to take a couple-minute break here, guys, as we get ready to go into the halftime and see who will be able to surge forward, go to match point. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.